National Signing Day Part 2, this time in 2022, and time to visit with a guy who's going into year 2 as Ohio's head football coach, Tim Albin. I'm Russ Eisenstein, the voice of the Ohio Bobcats. Tim, good to see you again. Objectives going into this recruiting class process, and do you feel that you achieved those goals?
Absolutely. I think from a roster standpoint, hit the recruiting trail, trying to improve your roster. I truly believe that we've done those things. We knew going in to this class it was going to be a smaller class as far as numbers due to the super seniors and getting back to the NCAA 85. And with Ryan Bainbridge's leadership, great job by the staff, I think we've met him.
In totality, around 14 guys, and it is on the smaller end of the recruiting class, but you are happy with the guys that you got. The last time that we talked on the radio was a Rob Cornelius postgame interview with you after the campaign concluded at Bowling Green, and 2021 wasn't the season that anybody had hoped for, but you had said then that you were excited about getting back on the recruiting trail and revving things up there. Did last year kind of stoke the fires to get things rolling, back recruiting for you and your staff?
Obviously, we've got a very passionate fan base, and we know that last year's record is not up to standard here. So you can say it lit a fire, but I think this staff has got enough fire, But I truly believe, with this class and who's returning, spring ball's vastly approaching. I'm looking forward to next year's schedule. With those great challenges come great opportunity. And as the old cliche, you rise up, and the team's going to.
How would you characterize, with a broad brush, this class? There are lots of words that you can use of athleticism and playmaking and all of that. What are some words that strike you about the guys that you're bringing in?
I think experienced. We've got a good mix of older guys due to just, again, improving your roster player-wise, and we've got a nice mix of some younger guys. Last year's class during the pandemic, probably a lot of younger guys. We returned most of those. This class that entered, we were able to 8 early enrollees, maybe 9 that joined us in January, and they're going to be here for spring practice, which will be huge, and going in for momentum into the fall.
When you have the class the size of around 14 guys, that strikes me as very need-based. Did you look at specific spots on your roster where you thought, we need to get better here?
That's a great question. Receiver. Graduated some really experienced guys, 3 or 4 guys that caught a lot of balls. We signed 3 true freshmen and freshman receiver in last year's class. And so, hey, going into this class, we need to get a couple older guys, and we're able to do that with here. And so one of them has joined us at mid-year, like I said earlier. So I think, to your point, yes, and it's going to be a nice mixture of old and young that will benefit us.
Yeah, and it's a mixture of junior college transfers, too, in addition to FBS transfers. There's a Purdue transfer and a Rice transfer in the mix as well. And when you look at that, you look at a variety of experiences. When you evaluate transfers on any level, from a junior college standpoint or an FBS standpoint, what are you looking for, and why do you decide to bring them in?
Obviously, you start with a need, and then you got to get into the toughness boxes got to get checked, and then you got to get into, how are things in the classroom, off the field. There's more than just the highlight film. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I think that it's got to be a fit for your locker room. Ohio University is a high academic institution, and we've got a standard of excellence here. We've got to make sure the collegiate athlete fits all those, and I think that this class is going to make a lot of alumni proud.
The perception of the program has been at a very high level for a number of years with all the winning that has happened here. From your standpoint, what have high school or junior college or FBS transfers said to you about how this program strikes them? What is their perception level of what they see here?
I think, again, the selling point, academics is, what they're looking for. I think the transparency in the staff, just being genuine. I think it's staff of integrity. Those things hit home with the type of collegiate athletes that we recruit, and we're using those building blocks to build.
So what happens now? Signing day, everything's all done. you get set for spring ball. Take the fans through the process of what happens now for the next couple of months.
We are currently evaluating all of our film from this past fall, this week, with the big date up tomorrow. We'll take some time off, tomorrow evening, but back at it on Thursday. But we're in our normal routine, preparing for spring practice, which begins March 15th.
You also have 2 new coaches on staff. Tell us about them.
Yeah, Spence Nowinski, John Hauser are joining us here in the last couple of weeks. I think John's official day was yesterday, and very, very excited. I've known Coach Nowinski for probably close to 20 years as a friend, but you just look at the defenses that he's built in his previous 2 stops. They stop the run, they get to the quarterback. I think he does a great job with personnel, moving guys around, getting the best 11 on the field. After game planning against his defenses over the last 4 years, it became very clear early on. It's one of my first calls, and it's played out in our favor. And then John Hauser has been on staff, I believe, for 8 to 10 years. I think he's got over 15 years of experience in our conference. He's won a couple championships. He's an elite recruiter. Done a phenomenal job in the state of Ohio, and it's a home run for Ohio University bringing those 2.
And most recently from Miami, so they're over to the right side of the rivalry now too.
Yeah, yes, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it's always fun to visit with you. Congratulations to you and your entire staff on this recruiting class, and we look forward to seeing Bobcat football 2022 real soon.
Thank you, Russ. I appreciate it.
That's head coach Tim Albin. I'm Russ Eisenstein, and this is Bobcat TV.